Hey everybody, heads up. Amazon has just made Prime Day 2025 bigger than ever. Last year, Prime Day pulled in $14.2 billion in US sales alone. This year, well, they've doubled it up to 4 days. You want the scoop on how all this could be for you as a seller or even as a buyer? Well, hey, let's dive in, all right? Just some really quick stats real quick. Amazon just announced that their Prime Day this summer, instead of being a 2-day event, is going to run between July 8th and July 11th. That's right, 4 days, 96 hours of deals. Now, if you're hearing this, typically there's one of two reactions. One reaction is, yeah, 4 days, Prime Day, 96 hours. Man, I can't wait. And the other reaction, and frankly, it's the one I'm seeing a lot among the seller community, is meh, So let's talk about that just a second. Okay, 4 days, that's pretty huge. Now, without doubt, Prime Day on Amazon is typically one of the biggest revenue earners for Amazon sellers all year long, maybe just getting topped by Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Typically, those really rake it in, but Prime Day typically really rakes it in. But there's a caveat. In many cases, if you're really going to rake in revenue with Prime Day, you're doing it because you're giving away a great deal. And when you give away a great deal, you're giving away a lot of money, right? So I cannot tell you how many times I have seen clients, and even myself, get super jacked up and excited about all their sales on Prime Day when they did some huge 20, 30, 40% promotion, only to find out that they got rid of a ton of inventory, but they really didn't make any more money in profit, okay? Tons of sales, but didn't put more money in their pockets, which at the end of the day, you gotta have that money going into the bank account and staying there to be profitable and to make money. But don't discount the idea of Prime Day because it can still be fantastic. Maybe you've got old inventory you need to get rid of. Maybe you've got something you want to relaunch. Lots and lots of ideas that we can discuss, all right? But it really actually does matter. They're gonna do some new things this year. I'm gonna be curious to find out what it is. The biggest one that they're talking about is something called Today's Big Deals, all right? This is going on over the 4-day Prime Day event, and it's gonna drop at midnight Pacific time, all right? Well, I live in Georgia on the beach. That's 3 a.m. Eastern time. Let me tell you, I'm not staying up till 3 a.m. to see whatever the big deal is that drops at midnight. But I'm sure Amazon will stir up quite a bit of hype and excitement about their today's big deals that drop at midnight, and that is Amazon Seattle, Washington time, Pacific time. All right, another thing they're starting already in the month of June, they're going to begin to start teasing us with what they call early deals. We've seen Walmart do the same thing with Walmart's promotions. They'll start teasing you with early deals. Another one that's really big is they've expanded Prime Day now to over 26 countries. Well, a total of 26 countries. Like Ireland was added, Colombia was added. So there's a lot of new locations that were added. It matters because, like I said at the beginning of the video, US sales alone, Prime Day last year, which was only 2 days, 48 hours, hit around $14.2 billion, all right? People are saying, estimates this year's longer event could reach 13 billion or more. So it's going to be spread out more. Does it mean there's going to be a whole lot more revenue? I don't know. I'm curious what you think. Do you think that spreading out Prime Day over 4 days is going to make it a more successful, more exciting event, or is it going to take away from the event? I'm curious what you'd like to know. And, since I'm asking your input right now, I'd love for you to leave a comment and tell me what you think. But while you're there, hit that subscribe button, okay? If you like this kind of content, if you like learning about Amazon, selling on Amazon, Amazon news, other e-commerce news, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you right here on the Ecom Catalyst channel. Hit that like button, tell your friends about it. But let's keep getting into that, okay? So July the 8th through 11th, mark that in on your calendar. Big 4-day expansion and early deals leaking out earlier into June, okay? Now, I talked about the big deals that are gonna drop at midnight, and there's also the opportunity, as always, for you to run special deals that are featured as Amazon Prime deals. Now, if you've not already submitted any of your like best deals, special deals that are available during the Prime Day window, it's too late for that to have the official Prime Day deals, but you can still run Prime exclusive discounts. You can still run your own sales simply by editing your sale price in your listing. There's still tons of ways to really maximize and profit from all of this hype, all of this marketing, all of the increased traffic that is going to be just attacking Amazon's website. Because make no doubt about it, there's going to be a lot of extra traffic, and you're already seeing marketing on TV commercials. You're seeing marketing all over the internet. You're seeing banners and badges talking about the July Prime Day, 8th through 11th, 2025. All right, so how do you prepare for this? Hey, you got to make sure you've got your inventory in. And Amazon's complicated that by crushing people's inventory limits. I've talked about that on another video here on the channel, okay, where all of a sudden sellers are saying, hey, for July, I only have half of the amount of storage that I had in June. Why are they doing this when I'm trying to get my product in for Prime Day? We talk about that in this other video. I think they're really trying to push people into the AWD service. That's a whole nother discussion, but you have to have your inventory ready. And look, maybe you're not running a big Prime Day deal. Maybe you haven't signed up for any big deals on Prime Day. You're still going to have a surge of traffic and a surge of sales if your product is ranked properly, if you're advertising your product has good reviews, and you have a solid optimized product listing page, you're going to benefit from Prime Day, okay? I tell you what, I'm kind of on the fence, and my professional opinion and really my personal opinion is that by taking Prime Day from a 2-day event to a 4-day event, I believe they're kind of diminishing the excitement of the event. I think it's going to be and they're going to do everything they can to try to keep the hype up and to try to, keep the flywheel spinning and try getting people there. Let's wait and see, okay, before we cast judgment. Again, I'd love your comment. I'd love to know, what do you think? Do you think the 4-day is going to be a win, or do you think it's just going to fizzle out? All right, so anyway, there you have it. July 8th through 11th, that's the Prime Day 2025. There's a ton if you're a seller, and even a ton if you're a buyer. 4 days of hype, 4 days of traffic, and all these new flash deal features, global reach, huge sales projections. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss any of it. I'll be talking about it more. Now, if you want to level up your store for Prime Day, you want to make sure you're ready, you want to make sure your listings are optimized, you need help with your Amazon channel as a seller, feel free to reach out to us. That's exactly what we do. You can check out the first link in the description. It'll take you to Ecom Catalyst. You can do a consult with us. We have full management for clients. We also just do one-on-one consults. One-on-one meaning that you just need an hour. You just want somebody to talk to you for an hour or a half hour and really dig into a listing or to a problem to help you solve that. I typically take those calls many times, and we've helped a lot of people on one-off thing. And hey, I want to thank you so much for watching this channel. We look forward to seeing you soon. And again, let me know what you think. Is Prime Day, 4 days, 96 hours, a good thing or a bad thing? Drop it in the comments. Let me know.